Come on in here, y'all. Let me see. Let me see how well I can hear myself. It is Saturday, September 13th, 2025. I wanted to say 2023. I'm coming up on an anniversary of an awakening that I had, a massive awakening that I have. I call it massive because it was very life changing and I'll never forget it. And that anniversary will be on Monday. You know, it's been 13 years since my breast cancer diagnosis, which is what spurred the awakening or the connection, the meeting with my higher self I had that day. September 15th, 2012. My higher self was telling me that I was going to get, that I was sick. I was physically ill. I had first felt a lump in 2011, but I was going through so much. I was stressing about my children and teenagers. Divorce I was going through. The first time I divorced my ex, everything was just, felt like the world was on my shoulders. And I felt that little lump, you know. I was like, nah, that ain't what I think it is. I'll be all right. I'll just let it go. I did. I was like, I ain't got time to worry about that right now. And then, you know, a year later, it was getting bigger. So I went in October 2012, but right after I had the awakening of my higher self. And, I had, you know, my body, everything told me that something wasn't right. Something was off. And it came to a head, and I went to go get checked out that next month in October, which will be coming up on again, right, for breast cancer. And it was confirmed. I'm fine now. I've had the second reconstruction surgery because my first implants ruptured, and I had that done in February this year. So I'm fine now, healing. But sadly to say, I guess it's a segue into, you know, a family member now being diagnosed with breast cancer. One of my nieces, and we haven't heard too much more information from her yet. She hasn't really. We've heard it through the grapevine, and there's a lot going on right now in the family. So as far as that side of the family, and it's a little stressful, but we're gonna be all right. That's what we're here for, to support each other. I'm just grateful for my beautiful grandchildren. I got to speak to all the girls this morning. My grandson, I talked to them last week. They're in Alabama now. They're still not too far. They're only a few hours away. But, yeah. Anybody coming in the chat, please hit the like button. I see somebody in here. It must be the trolls. I'm trying to see if I can be heard. Thank you for the like. I didn't really have anything planned. I wanted to come in here and check in with y'all. I'll probably only do uploads 3 times a week for now, as I'm doing my shadow work here for these 90 days. I'm focusing on some other things, especially with YouTube being so strange. But you know, things gotta take effect. Just gotta wait. We've been doing the work. We gotta expect the payoff. I don't know. Did I do that live? I'm trying to make sure I can be heard. Y'all come and go. 3488. Yeah. Sometimes people watch the video. I guess they just click on it, and then I noticed with the new AI technology on the videos, and you hit the little ask button, and it'll bring up the chapters and tell you what we're speaking about in the videos. I find that very helpful for making shorts. But it can also put you to where you want to be in the video, so you don't have to watch it all, I guess. But I don't know. When you're talking about readings, I like to watch them until it just doesn't resonate anymore, or if I've heard enough. But I understand people not watching the whole things, but not not very many likes, unless it's something like somebody doing something to somebody else. Like, people don't tend to like the ones that stay positive or help you to grow. People tend to like the ones where they're talking about what other people are doing to you, and how much other people hate you and all that stuff. They love those kind of videos, those kind of readings, um, more so than the others. All right, so I did get 6 likes. This last one that it got over a couple hundred views is 348. I should bring on my analytics, but it's so embarrassing. I don't want to say. I get mad when I don't see them dollar signs move. But that's why you gotta have several streams of income and many talents, many ideas. It's always expanding, always growing. But I have enjoyed working on YouTube, though. Hey, what's up, Caden? Yeah, nobody cares. That's okay. They care. People care. But the whole point is, I want people to care about themselves. That's why it doesn't, it doesn't bother me that much, really. I mean, you do want to be recognized for your work when you love things so much. Videos are dumb. Well, why are you here? Whatever. I love doing videos. I love watching them when I'm getting some information, when there's people that I resonate with, when people are really, really, know what they're talking about, or at least learning something or trying to figure something out. Yeah, I learn a lot on YouTube. There's a lot of repeat performances and copycat energy, but whatever. Every little bit counts. But yeah, I know I have a lot of trolls and hater energy, but that's all right. Whatever, Rhonda. I know I'm not dumb. P, you're dummy. Oh well, whatever. Self-hate is a motherfucker. I see some numbers up there, but, I don't know. I also have some behind-the-scenes information, too, so, I mean, I know how it all works. So I got another subscriber, I guess, from the live. I don't know. Yeah, nobody's dumb. I learn a lot from children. So, I learn a lot from older people, younger people. It don't matter to me. Yeah. Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, I know I am. I just want other people to realize that they are too, and there's no reason to, discredit someone because, I don't know, they may disagree or whatever, but I'm really not here to make anybody disagree or anything. Thank you, Rhonda, for the sub. But I know my mission. I know what I imagined as a child. And so, I'm just that type of person that just lives my dreams. And just these past 30 years, I've been in a terrible, abusive, well, my life has been that way since I've been here. And, as I really started coming back to myself about 5 years ago, I started realizing how much of an illusion I was in because of, I don't want that. the energies that were around me. It's a repeated energy. It's my mother's energy. And it's all in my fucking birth chart. So I know it's just part of this process. It's part of why I'm here is to push through and keep going. Don't give up, no matter what. I knew that to be true about myself long ago, but not being aware of my energy, not being aware of my intuition, falling into the false narrative that and the spookism and that our intuition and the spirit realm is not real. We've all grown up with that idea or indoctrination that everything's all about intellect, when actually the spirit and your intuition is more intelligent than your intellect, knows more than you do, your subconscious. So we do have to learn to pay attention to that. So I feel like that's another reason why I don't get a lot of interaction, because people don't want to do that, or if they see it from me, they want to continue to let people, rather people play into their egos, because that keeps the money going, right? But I don't know. Money didn't really seem to make a difference when your emotions are out of whack. When you're really not living your dreams, when you're really not satisfied because you're not on your own soul path. You may be living the life of someone else's dreams. You're being played with, toyed with, laughed at, snickered at, talked about, lied on. Shit, people just make up shit about you, and they sit back here giggling about it, and nobody's confronting you and saying anything about what they're talking about. But your intuition, your subconscious knows exactly what they're saying. It can probably hear every word they're saying. But you got to pay attention to that. You got to learn how to tap into that and draw that information from yourself. Bye. All right, just come back and watch later. That's cool. Thank you so much. Rhonda. So let me pull a few oracles, I guess. We'll go ahead and do a little astrology. I don't know where we are in the moon cycle. Somebody has subscribed again. Thank you. Yeah, y'all, just really want to finish cleaning out my house. It's 30 years of raising 5 children and going through so much struggle with this relationship. But it feels good to clear all this stuff out and finding my old journals and being reminded of what I was thinking and going through. And I was right. I know I ran across a few pieces of drawing paper that I had. Yeah, rest in peace to everybody. Actually, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Spiritual realm is real. Nobody really dies, okay? We just transform. Yeah. Old thoughts, old beliefs, old ideas, old relationships, old energy, to be reborn into something new. This is the change that we're making. Some of us do sacrifice our lives, right? You would think that Charlie Kirk would be someone who would be, I guess some people see it as a sacrifice. If y'all resonated with them, or I don't really care what anybody resonates with or what you believe. It makes the world better when we all have different ideas and different thought processes. But it's just, the hatefulness and the evilness and the violence that gets perpetrated with it for whatever reason. I guess there is a reason, right? So, I don't wish any death and pain on anybody. Whether they agree with me or not, whether they've wished the same thing on me, whether they've tried to take me out. Because I understand what it is. Nothing dies. Nothing really dies. Truly, it just transforms. It just regenerates. That's why things could keep going and keep going and keep going. And we always have time. We have nothing but time. We have nothing but time, baby. Nothing. I got Venus energy here. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. We're about to go into, are we in Libra season yet? Well, we will be here soon. So, Venus is about the romantic inclinations and pleasures of life. It also does govern our relationship with the money. That's always a feminine energy. Money, relationships, emotions, intuition, past, present, and future. Venus also expresses our taste, including our preference in art and style. I'm learning that a lot. I'm figuring out my style here, okay? I like Halloween. I love the fall. All right. Even though I'm a spring baby. It also represents how we choose to live a luxurious, good life. And everybody has their different levels of luxury. You just cannot let that be everything that your life is centered around, okay? That's all that 3D living. And Venus is at its best when surrounded by amorous and tender affections, good feelings. And even on a bad day, Venus can become jealous when not given enough attention, right? We see that all the time. Often resorting to passive acts to try to gain dominance over a situation. Passive could be like shadow banning. It could be like trolling, coming in here calling somebody dumb. I mean, I'm clearly not dumb, okay? And thank you, Rhonda Johnson, for reaffirming that. So, yeah, trying to gain dominance over a situation. Can't nobody stop this, what I'm doing. Even if the it passes away or goes away, I put my energy into too much for it to live through, continue to live, okay? I've already broken my generational curses, so. Venus moves through a different sign of the zodiac every 3 to 4 weeks, except when it's in retrograde. Venus, Libra, and Taurus. The live sky. Okay, where is Venus? It's in the constellation of Leo. Ooh. Wow, this is like real time. Planets visible tonight. What's visible now? Oh, wow. This is cute. I'm going to keep this up. I have to keep that up on my computer. All right, so yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So I know a lot of people don't believe in all that, but whatever. I've seen my enemies or people I disagree with, or even people who have hurt me, die. Okay, I've seen them pass away from whatever. Yeah, you do have, yeah, just because you said rest in peace, Charlie, I didn't even know who that guy was. I know nothing about none of that until he got killed or assassinated. I'm just sitting back watching. I don't have an opinion one way or another. You know what I'm saying? The world turns, just a repeated thing. Pancakes sound good. Sherlock Holmes. As above, so below. Let me see what else I got here. Thank you for the 3 likes. Capricorn energy. Well, Jesus is a metaphor, but I get it. Christ consciousness is love. It's unconditional love. So, you could be a Capricorn. Somebody could be dealing with Capricorn. Nothing is new under the sun. I don't know about that. Thank you for subscribing. What was that? Yeah, my breath is new every day under the sun. Every moment. And I'm grateful for it. So, yeah. As above, so below. Things are renewed. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to take that quote back. Things are renewed every day. Every day's new. Got Capricorn energy, as above, so below. And Mercury. So communication, there could be some sort of planetary return. What does that mean? A planetary return occurs when a transiting planet crosses the spot in which you were born. Now, that's what's so interesting. Y'all have to know your birth chart and all that placement and stuff. And I was just learning about that when on my 50th birthday, everything came back. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Each day creates a new opportunity. You're right. That's what it is. Everything was lined up exactly where it was when I was born on my 50th birthday. And that's when... That's the same year I found out about all my genealogy. I had done a 23andMe DNA test in 2017. I got the results back. I had them on my computer. And I took a look at them when I first got them. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. There were some things I didn't understand why I was mixed. I'm saying, where the hell did this come from? I called my mom. I said, where all these white people come from in my blood? She said... And she playing dumb and all this stuff, right? So, a lot of things happened to me when I was a youngster. A lot of distortion, memory. People played around in my mind, in my head. And when I'm studying my birth chart now, I understand how they got away with it. I understood what they were doing. I figured it out backwards, right? And so, no, we have no obligations. No obligations. Yeah, you can change every day. And I like what's going on. So, I got to digging around, and there had been a message from my sister, this woman, with she was a sister, a half sister. So I called her, found out everything, and then it all came to light. And of course, that caused a separation with my family and my so-called family, so-called step family, and all that, and everybody. I don't. Only people who I claim as my family now are my children. That's it. Because of all the manipulation and everything they were doing to me, and all this came to light around my 50th birthday. It was 2020, so that's when I turned 50. And that's when I met my sister and found out about my dad. And come to find out, when I told her my birthday, she almost lost her mind. She gasped and she said, "Why?" I said, "What you say it like that for? What's wrong?" Nobody likes my birthday. Nobody ever really celebrated it. And she said, because that's the same day the daddy was born. So I was born on his birthday. He was born at night and I was born in the morning on the same day. And 21 years apart. So I know it's all significant, and it plays a lot. It plays, even though everything was distorted as I was growing up, and as I was raising my own children, things did start to make sense. And that's my story, okay? One day I'm going to get the details down and write them down in some sort of chronological order or story time. But, that's why I feel like it's so important to, share your gifts, share whatever your wisdom. I don't care if nobody listens. They will sooner or later. If nothing else, you'll know your story. You can hear yourself tell your story. So, kind of eliminates jealousy and competition, because you're only competing with yourself. Hi. Like what Sherlock Holmes said, you're not obligated to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. You probably should learn something or change within them 5 minutes. I've learned to take each day as I wake up, and sometimes, especially this time right now, what's going on with the family is stressful, but we got to take it in stride and use it to keep us going forward and flying high. And just don't become overwhelmed or even underwhelmed, okay? This is a test of keeping our emotions in balance or at the point of zero, so that we can continue to build even in these times of darkness, or, you know, rest and contentment, just being satisfied, and being at peace. Because, you know, there's always somebody going through something worse, like Charlie Kirk's family. Even whether you agree with it, what happened or whatever, just people still suffering or in grief. You don't have to care, but just be aware. I like that. So planetary return. The time each planet takes to travel the wheel of the zodiac determines the significance of each return. Mine took 50 years. That was very significant. Now, you know, I just go with it. The longer the return, the more powerful it is in our lives. And, you know, being a Taurus, I always wanted to have some sort of stability and control. So I learned to start letting go of control years ago. I heard a voice within say, you know, you don't have to control everything. Everybody doesn't belong to you. I think that's just part of my ego, the zodiac, that I belong to, Taurus. The Taurus zodiac. I think Taurus people have this idea that we possess people. We love them so much. Yeah, we want to take care of them and just, you know, love on them. So, yeah. And then, you know, being an earth sign already, you feel like the earth belongs to you. But, you know, I'm not possessive. Not anymore. I learned to let go, and I never really was, because I get bored easy, y'all, as you can see sometimes if you noticed. So there's a lunar eclipse. I think it's coming up September 21st. Let me get this right. Is it lunar? No, the next lunar eclipse will be on March the 3rd next year. And it will be visible from the Americas, East Asia, Australia, and the Pacific region. And there will be a partial lunar eclipse on August 27th through the 28th, 2026. Visible from the Americas, Europe, and Africa. So this will be a solar eclipse. That's next here, I think, on the 21st. Is that right? 2025. The next solar eclipse in 2025 is a partial solar eclipse on September 21st, 2025, visible in Australia, Antarctica, and parts of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. There will also be a partial solar eclipse on March 29th. Okay, that's already passed. 2025, I guess. Yeah. So the 21st is also the fall equinox, right? You're back, Rhonda. Thank you. Good to see you. So with the lunar eclipse energy, this could be a different time here, or it may be March 2026. A lunar eclipse is when the sun, moon, and earth are in alignment with the earth between the sun and the moon. It only happens on a full moon, with the sun and moon opposing each other. So there's definitely some opposition going on with some communication. Venus, Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn, as well as Aquarius. But Mars is Scorpio and Aries, and those could be significant. Warrior energy, communication. Yeah, you know, we're fighting communication, or, you know, you got backlash and stuff like that. People disagreeing a lot and probably taking things too far, letting their emotions become unstable. Okay, Mars is associated with confidence, courage, and ambition in life. Also, it governs how we fight with each other, how we protect ourselves and those we care about, our intimate desires, and our aggressive and competitive side. Where is Mars right now? Where's Mars? Venus is in Leo. Venus and Mars are opposites. Masculine and feminine. So currently Mars is in the constellation of Virgo. Virgo and Leo. The current right ascension is, I don't know what that means. So why am I reading it? Yeah, Mars and Virgo. Is that what I'm seeing in the sky every morning? And today, of course, is the 13th, 9/13. Mars is in Virgo, Venus is in Leo. Virgo and Leo. A lunar eclipse. Capricorn. So Mercury represents expression, which is the Gemini and Virgo. Okay, we got the Virgo. Mercury represents expression and communication. Mercury rules how we communicate, whether through in-person conversation, text messages, emails, or even phone calls. Analytical and curious, Mercury can help us better understand our own thoughts so that we can gain clarity in all situations and relationships. And that's what's happened when I did my Saturn return. And, this is work that I try to do every day for myself. And then I just happen to share that and just being myself and expressing myself on my platform, through my artwork, the way I live my life every day. Okay. The situations I'm in right now, it all reflects what I've been through, learned, and understand about myself. Gaining clarity in all situations and relationships. Mercury is also known as a trickster, especially when in retrograde. We're not in retrograde at this time. Current position of Mercury. Leo. It's in Leo with as Venus. Venus and Mercury in the same thing. Yep, that's what I'm seeing. Is it Mercury that I'm seeing every day? I don't know. Constellation of Leo right now. Current right center. Today's okay. And then this asteroid energy here. Mars and Jupiter, the largest between Mars and Jupiter, the goddess of crops, bringing abundant gifts and nourishment. Yes, Lord, we need that. Ceres. This also associated with fertility. I know I'm getting the truth because I'm burping. Fertility, feminine cycles and the seasons. Her daughter, Persephone. Her daughter Persephone, I didn't read that. I need to go over and read my Greek mythology. Is taken to the underworld by Pluto for 6 months every year. And while she's gone, Ceres, I don't know if I'm saying that right, goes into mourning, the dark and barren fall, winter seasons. Right now, we're in that time, rejoicing when her daughter returns in spring and summer. Warm and loving energy represents nurturing, planting, and healing. Okay, we got a lot of soulful reward coming in, okay? Let's see what Anne-Marie Randall says. Yet another mindless, cringe-worthy live stream with no observable purpose or meaning whatsoever. So adios and good luck. Okay, thanks for the good luck. See you later. Go find your people. As above, so below. Let it be so. See how people just have to express themselves, and it's good, right? Maybe he won't go out or he or she won't go out and hurt anybody. So they did wish us good luck. So okay, so things could feel like they've stopped. Okay, things are slowing down because of the season that we're in right now, the energy that we're in right now. That's good, but something's going to go back to a final, working its way to the final degree, back to the beginning, clearing up what became undone or what was confusing during the actual retrograde. So these last 3 months of the year are a time to reflect on these past months and years, because I've been going back in the years too. It almost feels like time has stood still to me. Okay, everybody has a different perspective. So in general, post-shadow retrograde is where you can recover or reckon with what got shaken up during that cycle. All right, good deal. That's what we're doing. As long as we know we're on the right path, We can be affirmed each and every hour because, things get shaky sometimes, especially when you don't have a lot of reinforcements or, good positive energy to help you grow and move forward. You got to be able to encourage yourself. And then you get people like Rhonda Johnson who just step in and let you know everything's fine. You just need one voice. That's all it takes. So, thank you for who's ever joined me today. We got 35 minutes. That's good. I should read the Bible instead. I read the Bible every day, Greg. I don't know what you mean. The Bible and the astrology, it all matches. It's all the same. Did you know that? I read it. I read it a lot. I was raised as a Christian. As above, so below. And also went back on my own choice to church. I know the Bible, child. My house is full of Bibles. It's sad that you don't know what the difference is, so you must be in an illusion, like most of the world. As above, so below. All right, Spirit, great Mother, great Cosmic Mother, great Divine Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Goddess of the highest light. Send us on out of here with the Oracle. As above, so below. Number 8, Leo energy. We've pulled Leo for Mercury and Venus, okay? We're protected here. The earth is protected by love and communication, by positive energy, by reinforcing positivity, by reinforcing the beautiful energy of people, of the human body. You heal by releasing and not suppressing. Yep. Someone needs to feel some sort of emotion they're holding back. Or you could have been holding back and you're learning to open up, or you have recently. Okay, it's stages. It happens over and over again. It's not just one thing. It's how you keep moving. It's how you keep having energy in life. Vitality. How you can live for years because you got... and years and years and years and years and years because you have so much you want to live out right here on this earth. You can control your destiny. You can control when you leave this earth. So maybe you have been suppressing some feeling. You could check your own heart and figure that out. As you release these stored emotions, you allow your feelings to move through you, and your emotions can be transmuted into higher frequencies. Release your need to force your feelings and allow yourself to be the conduit for healing. There is no need to hide from expressing your emotions, as they are a direct channel to your higher self. Thank you. This day, well, it'll be Monday, but yeah, 13 years ago was very significant for me. Very emotionally charged, but somehow the wisdom of God got into my mind and into my heart, and it's been on and popping ever since. There's no need to hide from expressing your emotions, as they are a direct channel to your higher self. Pay attention to your feelings and express them often, because when you hold back, when you keep those things bottled up, you get to popping off, like people coming in here talking about me being dumb, okay? Not really understanding religion. These people haven't done any work, or if they have, they're just don't want anybody else to do any, so they throw out negativity and ignorance, okay, calling somebody dumb when okay. All right, child. Those are my emotions. That's what I got to say about it, okay? Self-expression is very important. Don't keep things bottled up here. Don't suppress, because, that could lead to violence. It could lead to manipulation. Either you being a victim of any of that, or even, perpetrating that, okay? None of us are above any of that. So, we here together. And hopefully, we'll get a few that'll stay together. And that will, continue to make the world positive and beautiful. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, especially you, Rhonda. I hope to see y'all later. Bye-bye. Enjoy.